tell you a little bit about myself. I trained as a combat medic. I joined straight out of high school. I was 17. When I deployed, I was in a clinic. I worked sick call. I was a combat medic. And I asked one of the surgeons that was there, I said, hey, is there a way that I can go to the operating room and watch a case? He's like, okay. Next day he came and he's like, do you want to start working there? I was like, yeah, sure. So basically what he was practicing was quid pro quo. You know, I transferred you to the operating room, so therefore you need to give me something back. Through that whole deployment, I dreaded every day I went to work because this person would catch me alone or like catch me in a hallway and like push himself against me. And I can tell you it's extremely difficult to do your job proficiently, efficiently, and correctly when there's someone that you have to look out for, your own people, your own comrades, your own supervisors. This person was in a person of a very extremely important position, and all I kept thinking about was if I speak out, it's gonna be my word against him, and I'm just an E4, I'm a specialist. So who are they gonna believe?
So in the military, there's this thing called the chain of command. And in my unit, rank structure was used to coerce women into sexual relationships. On Christmas Day, 2003, I was at Baghdad International Airport, and a CID officer was drunk, stumbling around our company area. And he flashed me his badge, and he was like, who can I F word? Who will S word my D word, you know? There are a lot of instances where we tried to fight and tried to complain about stuff, and every time it was like, he's not hurting you. You can't complain about this. He's married. There's always this idea that you're gonna ruin someone's career if you talk about stuff.
So think about the fact that the military is scared out of its mind to have this panel right here. This panel is history, because now you have women in combat. They're not shooting, but you have women in combat. So once you understand that, then the next question becomes whether or not this is always gonna happen. Does every combat mean that this is what has to happen with women if women decide to be in the military? I don't think so. I think it's only in the context of these types of genocidal wars. Everybody wants to say, you know, war breeds this, and all war and all conflict just makes this inevitable, and that's letting people off the hook. That's just saying there's no accountability for this stuff, and it's just in human nature, and it really indicts men, and it just makes it seem like these men all the time are condemned. When you put a gun in someone's hand, they're gonna do this to people, and it's not true. Mm-hmm. And it's just, there's so many cases of like liberation struggles, mm-hmm. and people who fight, and women warriors, and women guerrillas, and you don't see this. You don't see it the way you see it in the U.S. military and these imperialist, barbaric militaries that are all about power and wealth. You don't see it when people are fighting for their bread and for their survival, like in Africa and Angola in the 70s when mm-hmm. women were fighting to get the Portuguese out of their control. You didn't have, these 13-year-old girls were training 60-year-old men in how to read. You know what I'm saying? And they weren't being molested by the 60-year-old men because it was a different environment. It was really a struggle for liberation. And it's like, it's only in these barbaric struggles, the so-called civilized ones, which are really the barbaric ones.
I joined trying to do something for my country, and I joined, trying to be patriotic. And the last thing I would have imagined would have been joining an organization where, by my own peers, by my own comrades, I would have been harassed in that way. Thank you very much.